We have an update about the events occurring in Libya, Yemen, and Egypt.
But first, let's go over all the important events that have happened so far.
On March 29th, President Obama addressed the nation after ordering the airstrikes. Making the decision to order the airstrikes is part of the president's inherent powers as the commander-in-chief.
He doesn't need the Senate's approval to mobilize the armed forces for a temporary amount of time. However, under the War Powers Act, after a time period of 60 days has passed, if the armed forces are still in deployment, then Congress must fund the troops, and if it doesn't, then the president must pull back the forces.
Anyways, the next day, Obama met with the leaders of 4 nations to discuss the situation in Libya.
That has to do with the president being the chief diplomat, right?
Right, because the president is the chief diplomat, he went to the meeting and represented the United States among the leaders of the world.
So, on April 4th, the U.S. removed their warplanes to more of a support role instead of a very aggressive standpoint.
And on April 14th to 20th, Britain, French, and Italian governments sent experienced military officials to help fight pro-Gaddafi forces.
On April 21st, President Obama authorized use of armed Predator drones against Libyan forces, which falls under the action of inherited power.
On May 12th, Obama and legal advisors deliberated on how the U.S. can continue bombing without having it authorized by Congress. Because you know, Jared, that the president may not deploy troops or forces for more than a set period of time without the consent of congressional approval, according to the War Powers Act.
On May 17th, the oil minister of Libya fled. He ran to Tunisia, in which there appeared to be another high-level defection from the increasingly isolated government of Muhammad el-Gaddafi.
On June 1st, the NATO Secretary General said they would extend the mission for 90 days.
So did he say anything else?
Yeah, he said this decision sends a clear message to Gaddafi's regime. We are determined to continue our operation to protect the Libyan people.
That sounds like a humanitarian reason to be assisting the rebels in Libya.
What are you talking about? NATO just wants to have more influence over the Middle Eastern oil.
Hey, you can't say that on the air. Now let's move on to Yemen.
Oh, that's a good topic.
Just a little background before we get to the good stuff. From January 28th to March 10th, there were nationwide protests demanding the resignation of Ali Abdullah, and he refuses to step down.
Through countless violent protests and government violence, about 30 protesters have been killed and hundreds have been injured with clashes of government troops and supporters of the president.
On April 30th, Saleh was accused of sabotaging the peace plan by refusing to sign it, which would bring a lot more peace to the areas.
On May 26th, things are getting heated very quickly and several countries, including the U.S., are asking their diplomats to leave.
Saleh's security forces and tribesmen agreed to a truce after days of fighting and killing at least 115 people.
You know Egypt has experienced similar events to what Libya is going through from mid-January to mid-February earlier this year.
Yeah, but isn't Egypt going through a crime wave right now?
Well, yes, but I'm sure that other countries are interested in having close relations with Egypt and will help out in their internal problems by sending relief to the new upstart government.
On February 11, 2011, Egyptian president stepped down from office. He held the position for 29 years.
President Mubarak hands over all powers to the army. This announcement was made by Omar Suleiman, Mubarak's VP, just after 1600 GMT. Well, that's all the time we have now for you folks. Tune in next time for more news.
Oh, we're getting a live report from our field reporter, Bailey Avasar. Go to Avasar.
Thanks, Jared. I'm here at the scene of a skirmish between a rebel fighter and a loyalist to Quatafar Mahdi. Here, let's go behind me and see what's going on. Oh my god, he's smacking him. Oh my goodness. What is this? Oh, this is gory. Oh my god. Stop, don't, just stop recording it.
And on April 4th...
What's with the sigh?
Stop having...
Guilty.
There have been nationwide protests demanding the resignation of President Ali security forces and tribesmen agreed to a truce after days of fighting and killing at least
We gotta cut that. Oh my god.
Go.
No. We have an update about the events. We have an update about the events occurring in Libya. We have an update about the events occurring in Libya. Yeah. We have an update about the events occurring. Who wrote? Yeah, he was like honestly.
Bailey.
Bailey.
Ruined me.
You when he said.
Christ.
Are you an idiot?
Yes, bro.